Hello everyone, welcome to De facto law. So today I will be talking about how to write answer in UPSC, right? Because sometimes even if you have lot of knowledge, then also you are not able to present it in a better way. So let us see that what are the things we have to keep in mind while writing answers. Okay, so basically there are three things. First is the content, right? Second is your content. Second is your structure, and third is your presentation. Now let's try to understand what do you mean by content or structure or presentation. See, content basically means three things. If you think about content, it basically means three things. First is your knowledge. Okay, how much do you know about that particular subject? Okay, so that is quite important. Without that you won't be able to handle it. Second is basically depth of or broadness of your knowledge. Okay, meaning that suppose there is a question regarding murder, so what are the various component of murder that you can think of, not legally, otherwise also. Okay, so these two things are very important for content. Now these are the things that can be studied and then only it can be built. Okay, it is basically what you have studied in college. Okay, now this content almost have 40 to 50%, remember, not more than 50% structure, but I mean weightage. But without this content, ultimately your answer will not look right. So content is not the only thing, right, but it is the most important thing. Okay, sometimes people have content but no structure, that is also not of no use practically. Okay, so that is the thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, now the question is suppose you don't know a particular content, so you should have a habit of writing an average answer. Okay, meaning that suppose there is a question which is quite twisted in the sense that they have asked a philosophical question about murder that you don't know, so you should study your content or that particular topic in such a way that you should be able to write average answer. So that is quite important skill to have, right, writing average answer. Because sometimes you have a situation where for the question number 1 there is suppose 3 part A, B, C, you know all of them but you know them average. Now there is a question number 2, there is again 3 parts but you know 2 of them in a better way, 1 you don't know. So which is the best way to choose, right? So in those cases writing average answer is going to help you a lot. Okay, so that thing has to be kept into mind. Now let us move. I will show you the answers also, what do actually I mean by it. Now let us go to the second very important thing, that is your structuring. See, structuring basically is basically heading and subheading. Okay, meaning can you answer, the examiner should find out that where you have written what, right? Now suppose there is a question regarding let us say article 21 fundamental right, so the heading, a very flat question, a very normal question about, right, so the heading should be meaning, right, then the heading can be evolution, right, then the heading can be contemporary issues. Okay, so those are the structuring actually I am talking about. Now if you are a UPSC student, right, you must be knowing that in Hindu you must be reading actually Hindu, right, so you must be while reading you must observe this also, that in Hindu you will see that there is first paragraph no heading, second paragraph heading, and then the paragraph. Similarly there is a heading then the paragraph, meaning and that heading is such that it totally explains the gist of the paragraph below. So you should make a habit of making those headings. It helps examiner to check the question actually. Understood? Meaning that if an examiner is checking it, he will come to know exactly where what is written. Okay, sometimes this heading also helps you to write in efficient way, right? Suppose that you read a question and okay, there are 3 points has to be written, 3 basic thoughts has to be written. So in the exam section itself, in the page you can write, okay, this is the first subheading I will write, this is the second, and this is the third subheading I will write. Now in that case what will happen, that once you will start writing from here, right, once you reach there you will know that okay, my space is going to get finished, so I have to end it here. So it also helps you to structure your answer. Okay, and if you already decided these are the 3 subheadings that I will be using, it means the heading will be decided in accordance with the question. So suppose question has 3 part, right, 1, 2 and 3 part, 3 heading is required, so that will help you to give effective time to each and every headings. Okay, so 3 way actually the structuring helps you, not to the examiner but your own purpose also structuring helps you. Okay, so that thing has to be kept in mind for a structure. Okay, again I would say that 20 to 30% marks actually you can increase by simply structuring it better. Sometime if examiner is suppose not so enthusiastic in checking the question, right, they can simply see the heading and they can understand, okay, you know about the stuff, okay, and you will get good marks. So structuring is very, very important. Okay, I will show you the copy, you will understand more better what I mean by structuring. Now if we go to the third part, that is presentation. Now presentation has to do with little things, right? Little thing meaning that you are making examiner easy to read, making it easier to read. Previously it was not making it easier to read, making him easier to find what is written where. It is making it easier to use, easier to use, easier to read, right? So easier to read meaning what? It simply means that suppose you are writing an answer, it should look presentable, meaning that handwriting should be better. Okay, the paragraph should not be too long, paragraph should be highly aligned, it should not be written like this or something written like this. These are the small things that do matter, right? So this presentation part, if your presentation is better, it can help you 10 to 20% increasing your marks, right? So make it presentable, right? Sometimes boys specifically, I think that, oh, no need to write better, I know the concept and I can get good marks, but that is not the case. Any topper's copy you see, he or she must have a very, very lucid presentation. So presentation is very, very important. If a person cannot read what you have written, so structuring, even if good content, is irrelevant for that particular person. So structuring and content, or this content will only make sense if you have presented it in a better way. So presentation is very, very important in that regard. Okay, understood? So that thing you have to keep in mind. Okay, it means making it beautiful for them to check. Okay, so that is the one thing you should keep in mind. Okay, now let us go and see some of the copies actually, which I have evaluated. Let us see. Now let us see, suppose this copy. This is the question, life and personal liberty 21 have been progressively interpreted to make life, progress and personal liberty, meaning you have to write an answer in such a way that, okay, in the initial year of independence the court basically talked about more about life, later on the court has started to talk about personal liberty, right? So that thing actually you have to write here. Understood? Now the question is here is how do you approach this? So approaching it, that you have to talk about Article 21 in brief. Now this particular person has done it. Okay, it means it showed that, okay, the scope have been increased, that is very correct. Now nowhere she have written here initial years, right? So if she would have written initial years here, then the structure would have been better, that is heading would have been better. Understood? Then she talked about evolution, so she could have given evolution, ठीक है ना, कि 90s era, or sometime, okay, various meanings of life she could have given, right? So that is the meaning of structuring. Make the person who is checking your copy easier to find where you have written what. Okay, so that is an important thing. Now let us see another copy, right? It talks about level jeopardy, how it is different from American practice, right? So there they have both. One cannot be prosecuted twice, one cannot be punished twice. Here we have prosecuted and punished twice, right? So that is the essence of this answer. Now they have talked about this, it have been taken from here, very correct. Now very nicely they have given heading, it is very good. I have given also the good. Then they have talked about Indian practice, again very good, no problem. But here the problem is with little bit, with, if you will see, observe minutely, you will see that the problem with what here, that is your presentation. Okay, her handwriting might not be as good, okay, but for that purpose you might say it is okay, not a problem. But the next copy I will show you, that is, you will see that everything is good. See this guy copy. Medical insanity is not a valid defense but legal insanity. This is a weekly test that I take in my class, right? One of the students is very right actually, very brilliant actually in writing his list. Now this is the common law doctrine he have written in a very nice way. Everything is good. Insanity under this, good heading, right? Similarly subheadings also, okay, exact line actually he have quoted of judgment, very good actually. Then talked about these two, compared it, that is the demand of the question, then the case laws, right, and then we have concluded. Okay, here conclusion could have been written, but at least okay, but everything is good. So how nicely this have been written. Okay, so try to write according to that. Right, now I will advise you, basically go to my website, that is your defactolaw.in. I have talked about these things in very detail. Okay, so that will help you to understand everything, and if you have any problem, obviously you can comment and I will try to answer it. Okay, thank you.